Okay, so now we're going to look at some various tracking softwares, but firstly I wanted to show you what they're actually tracking. So if you put in a list of keywords into the tracking software, what it's going to do is give you a position overall for where you're ranking. Now, it's never going to be 100% accurate because you could rank differently on every single person's computer depending on what they've searched for before. And so what you're going to be seeing when you track it in the software is a bit of an average. And also in tracking softwares, you can often specify which country you want to track and also which locations you want to track. So if I'm in Australia, but I really only want to see where I'm ranking for the Sunshine Coast, then I may be able to track that, or I may be able to track Queensland, or maybe able to track Brisbane. It depends. You can't always track your location if it's a small location, but you can usually track cities. But in any case, just say one of the keywords that I want to rank for is Cafe Sunshine Coast. So firstly, we've got the maps listings here that are coming up, and some tracking softwares will allow you to track where you're coming up in the maps. Now, usually there's only allowed to be an ad, and then you only get 3 businesses that come up in these maps, and then you can go and view more locations and you can see all the other businesses that are there. So it will tell you whether you're in the top 3 or whether you're, not in the top 3 in the tracking softwares. The critical thing is where you're actually ranking in this organic section, because this is the bit that people usually go to. They often just scroll down and come to the organic section. I'm sure that's something that you do as well. And so this is where you want to find out what position you're ranking in. So when the tracking software comes back and says that you are number 1, it means that you're number 1 here, so that you are the first organic listing that comes up for Cafe Sunshine Coast. And if you're number 2, number 3, now there's only usually 10 listings on the first page of Google. So if you come up as number 12, that means that you're actually the second listing, the second listing on the second page of Google. If you came up as 22, then you're going to be the second one on the third page of Google. Okay, so I've made it nice and big so that it's easier to see. So if you, again, we've got Cafe Sunshine Coast, and these are the maps listings. So if you were this greenhouse cafe, then you're coming up number 3 in the maps, so that's nice. But if you scroll down, you'll see that they're not actually coming up at all on the first page of Google. So we might need to go to the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th page of Google to actually find what their real ranking is. But if you own this greenhouse cafe and you were going to Google and you were typing it in, or if you were somebody who loved this greenhouse cafe and you were going there all the time, then on your computer you might find that the greenhouse cafe ranks higher. So you might find that the greenhouse cafe comes up as number 3 or 4 in your searches. As the business owner, you're not going to get an accurate result if you just go into Google and search for your business. Okay, so that's why we need some kind of tracking software, even if you only have 2 or 3 keywords that you're searching for, because of the fact that if you go into Google and search, then it's just not really going to give you very accurate results. If you really, really don't want to use tracking software, then there is one other option that you can use, which is to go into a new incognito window, and we could search for Cafe Sunshine Coast in here, and then you might find that you would get different results because it's taken out your search history. But again, it still doesn't really give you a completely accurate result. But if you are only tracking 2 or 3 keywords, then it might be an okay way just to get at least a more accurate baseline of where you are. You'd have to go here and search through all the listings to try and find where you actually are. So that's why I use tracking software, because you know, I don't have the time to go through and search in Google for where I'm ranking, and also it doesn't give me accurate results because I'm always going to my clients' business websites. So when it comes to tracking software, I use a company called Pro Rank Tracker. There'll be a link in the description below. I've used various programs in the past, but this one I found to be like the most affordable and most useful for me. They do actually have their base product where you can get 200 keywords for $25 US a month. But look, there are other various free tracking softwares out there. I don't know how good they are. I haven't used them, but you can do a Google search to look for free softwares. So I just did one like with Free Rank Tracker, and it came up showing me this one here, which is linkassistant.com. This one you have to download onto your desktop and use it from there. Doing this, there is 15 best rank tracker tools, and so it goes through various ones. Pro Rank Tracker is like the one that I use, but there's this one here, the Hoth, that lets you do some, look, up to 10 keywords, seems to give you some kind of free tracking. So I would suggest, because we're going to try and aim to get you to track 10 keywords, that this would be an option if you really don't want to pay any money right now to try this. For 100 keywords, it's $15. So again, that might be okay for you. But if you're going to track up to 200 keywords, then the $25 with Pro Rank Tracker seems to be more affordable than what theirs is, because theirs goes up then to 500 keywords for $50. So just have a search around, find some kind of program that you're happy with. This is like Pro Rank Tracker, the one that I use. But ultimately, it probably doesn't really matter if you're using the same program. We'll show you the changes in the rankings, which is probably more important than the absolute position that you might be right now. But the key thing is that you want to at least find out what your initial ranking position is for these. So even if you sign up to Pro Rank Tracker, it's free for 7 days, and just get your initial website ranking for these keywords, so that you've got something to go off, so that you can be happy when you try it again and see that your results are getting better.